tonight down with the sickness. St. Louis is disturbed over a flu bug ravaging the team's playoff hopes. Can the Canucks force a Game 7? The Secretaries of Defense in D.C. are Kolzig and Habby Bolin. Can they save the day in a triple overtime nail-biter? We preview Game 6 between the Flyers and Leafs and wonder if the Leafs are the league's dirtiest team in the NHL.
Do we make some dirty plays? Sure. So does every other team out there.
We have all the tragically hit plays of the week from week 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. If you want to destroy my sweater, hold this thread as I skate away. Day and night 12 of the Stanley Cup tournament, maybe the craziest of them all so far.
One of them, yeah.
Unbelievable again.
An amazing Sunday in the playoffs. You know, so far, this is the playoff year of the multi-overtime game, the most since the NHL adopted its present playoff format in 1994. We've had 4 first-round multi-overtime games thus far. Last year, there were none. Speaking of none, that's how many playoff series Tampa Bay has won in their franchise history, up 3 games to 2 as we play Game 6 in Washington. And if the game goes to overtime, that's good news for Bolt fans. They've never lost a playoff overtime game. 3-0 coming in. Butch Cassidy, grade A suit once again. First period, no score. Capital power play, Robert Lang. Down low, no. Whew, John says. Later than 2 minutes later, no score. Tim Taylor. Kolzig's left pad saves it. Bolt's power play to the second period. Kolzig stones Vinny, Raymond.
Yeah, Boyle's going to shoot this. He sees LeCavalier, makes a great pass. LeCavalier, nice one-timer. Kolzig, great save coming across.
Capital power play, Bondra through the legs of Zubris and in, Barry.
Well, they can't put the best power play in the ice in the NHL. No one can. Bondra wires it. No chance of seeing that puck right through the wickets of Zubris.
Caps trying to force a Game 7. They score the all-important first goal of the series. Third period, 1-0, looking for insurance. Zubris, no. Kolzig make that Habby Bolin the save. Just over 4 minutes left in regulation.
Got blocked by Andrechuk. Score! Andrechuk! He's tied the game! 1 out of 4 now in the game.
Guess whose team called that, Barry?
I'd say it's Tampa Bay's, and when you're the highest scoring player in NHL history, power play goals, the puck comes to you.
Yeah, good bounce for the Bolts. Tough luck for the Caps. But they can still win the game in regulation. We gave Robert Lang $5 million a year to put that away. Doesn't happen. We go to overtime. Kolzig and Vinny can win it. Look at the individual effort around Gunchar. But no. And then Collimore, Ray. Parman's crazy in OT.
Kolzig made some great saves. This is one of the best here. Look at him get out in front on the rebound to stop Collimore.
St. Louis to win the game. Boys, is this a penalty?
Yes, and I think it's a penalty shot.
Penalty shot. Should have been a penalty shot. No doubt about it.
That would have been something. So, here we go. End of the first overtime. Tied at 1. Bolts trying to win the series, their first series ever, and the Capitals, of course, trying to force a Game 7. So, Barry, take me into the locker room as a coach. What are the coaches thinking at the end of 1 overtime? They see a bunch of tired players all over the room.
Motivate them, get them ready to play, make sure the trainer's got lots of fluids around the dressing room, and just tell them, guys, we got to win 1 period. We got to score the first goal. We do that, we win the series. So much easier job for Cassidy in the Washington dressing room. Same thing. Just we're playing well. Just continue to do what we're doing.
What about the players? The coach is fine. He just make sure the suit and the tie is straight. What do the players do during the overtime interval?
Well, you try and stay dry, change your underwear and stuff, make sure that you feel good going back on the ice. Barry's right. You drink lots of fluids. Guys are probably reminding themselves, because usually the ice in Washington's terrible, that watch the ice, make sure the puck goes forward, don't make any fancy plays or drop passes at the blue lines.
Sure wish you'd adhere to that, change the overtime or change the underwear rule for NHL tonight. That'd be nice if you adhere to that.
You think I should do that?
Some guys don't even change the suit for NHL tonight.
All right, let's go to second overtime. Would it end here? Let's check it out. Midway through, Brad Richards, he seemed to be one of the more fresher players in the second overtime. Then St. Louis has a chance. In front, no. Now, end, under 60 seconds. Kobina, but no. Now we go the other way. Transition, turnover, Nylander, Ray to win it.
He makes a good play getting the puck away from Collimore, but there's Habby Bolin again. He was terrific in goal. This is what Tampa Bay talked about all season long with Habby Bolin, how he can help them win games at key times.
Look at the end of the second overtime. Still tied at 1. Both the goals, power play goals. Keep that in mind. So, okay. We've motivated the guys again. Is it a lot of talk going on in the locker room in these multi-overtime games? You guys both been involved in it?
It's guys are just trying to get a relax, rest. Maybe their feet are up. Guys are laying on the floor with their feet up on the bench. Coaches, you're trying to get matchups. Maybe you're thinking, geez, if I could get Yager out maybe against Dingman, which happened quite a bit, or maybe if I can get San Luis out there against the third line once in a while. That's what you're thinking about as coaches' matchups.
Change your underwear again?
If they can find some. By this time, there's not much
left.
Hungry? Yeah, you're eating whatever you can get your hands on. By this time, you're probably through all your power bars, and whatever the trainers can get their hands on, you're putting inside your body. But at this point, there's not much talking. You're too tired. You're in your own thoughts at this point.
Another thing, though, gloves and skates are being dried right now. They're soaking wet at this time of the game, so the trainers are really trying to dry those two things.
All right, let's go to the third overtime and see what would happen. He looks fine. He looks like, since the face-off, Butch Cassidy.
He hasn't been fired yet. He doesn't know what that's like.
Too many men on the ice. Power play, Tampa Bay.
In front, St. Louis wheels, just score! 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 St. Louis! St. Louis! He's won it for the Lightning!
Oh, look at Dave Anderchuk, the last one off the bench. Ray, tell me about this.
Well, St. Louis makes a great play coming from behind the net, beating Doig, and then he makes a perfect shot. He tries to pass the puck here. It comes to LeCavalier. Look at that nice little move and a perfect shot. There's not a thing Colza could have done about that. This is a great series by Martin St. Louis.
Disappointment for Yager and the Capitals, and look at that man. What Martin Fry is to ABC, Martin St. Louis is to the Lightning. His 5th goal of the series, a 9th point, gives the Bolts their first playoff series win ever. 3 of the wins for the Bolts came on the road. One of the worst road teams in NHL history. Tampa Bay scored fewer goals than the Capitals in the series, but they still win. Lightning strikes for the first time ever in the playoffs. They come from 0-2 down in this series, and they can thank one man for coming back.
We started the series, kind of dug ourselves in the hole, being 2 games down to Wash, and it comes a point where obviously, that you get to put the nervousness aside and step up your game, and that's what we've been trying to do as a team. I really felt we've gotten better every game. Even in Game 2, if we lost, I felt that was a good stepping stone for our team. If we just would have stayed out of the box that game, I thought we could have made it a closer game. But I feel the last 4 games we've gotten better. We've stayed out of the box, and it's great to be around all these guys and just to win our first playoff series for the Lightning.
So a too many men on the ice penalty costs the Caps, and look at this. Tampa Bay becomes the first team in 21 years to obtain its first playoff series victory by claiming the deciding game in overtime. The last time, the 82 Nordiques, the game-winning goal scored by longtime Washington Capital, Dale Hunter. And Ray, your son Landon said he's picking the Bolts because they're a more disciplined team, and we saw it in the triple overtime game. Now the Bolts take on the New Jersey Devils. And again, we talk about matchups. Kind of give us this matchup, checking line, scoring line, and what the coaches might do.
Yeah, as usual, the 11-year-old knows more than the old man. But what we're going to see in this series is New Jersey is obviously a very disciplined team. You're going to see Scott Stevens playing defense a lot against Prospel and LeCavalier and St. Louis. But that's not the problem. Where he's really going to see the tight checking is he's going to see John Madden and the line that he's with Stevenson and Pandolfo are going to be in the back of Vinny LeCavalier's pants wherever he goes. St. Louis is going to have no room on the ice. The challenge for these guys is going to be, how do we make some room against a good skating line and a solid defensive core? And when they get past the defensive core, you've got probably the goaltender having the best season start to finish in hockey, and that's Marty Brodeur. Tampa Bay learned a lot about themselves in this series. They learned they can win when the pressure's on, and they too have a goaltender playing very well, and that's Javi Bulin, who's done a great job for them in the last 4 games.
60 saves in Game 6 for Nick. So like Ray mentions, 2 very good goaltenders in the next round. Well, coming up on NHL tonight, Kelly Neal reports on whether the legend is true. Does the hockey world hate the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah, I don't think we're liked, that's for sure, but that's a good thing. You don't want to be liked. You're not trying to make friends out there. On the ice is on the ice, and we try to go about our business every night, and if it makes some people mad, so be it.
And wait till you hear the health issues facing the St. Louis Blues. Game 6, Vancouver, St. Louis, next.